everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to hike to Volcan Mountain here by Julian in the, backcountry eastern part of San Diego County. Now, this is a fun mountain, but it's not a big mountain climb. It's going to be about 5.5, 6 miles out and back, about a little over 1,000 feet of climbing, but it is really beautiful. I'm going to take you up on the Five Oaks Trail, which is a beautiful single track. We're going to get great views up that. Then when we get to the summit, there's interpretive displays, there's some historic areas to check out, and there are great views from the Salton Sea all the way to Catalina. Now, just so you know, Volcan Mountain is not a volcano. I'll talk about how it got its name, and I'll give you a little bit of backstory on the hike and the historic landmarks along the way on the guide on HikingGuy.com. If you're not familiar with the channel, it's the website, so go there and check it out. I'll also talk about parking and the logistical stuff, so check that out before you go. And as always, thank you to everyone who supports the site. I could not do it without you, and I appreciate it 1 bazillion gajillion %, so thank you so much for that. And if you want to say thank you for the video, just click that little thumbs up button and it does the trick. All right, guys, let me show you this fun little hike.
Okay, so the official parking is on the side of the road here, and you can see there are signs for the Volcan Mountain Wilderness Preserve. And to start the hike, we're going to go up this little dirt road. Now, there's no parking on the road, and there are residential properties here, so please be respectful. It's only a minute or two before you go through this gate and we enter the actual park, the Volcan Mountain Wilderness Preserve. Through here, there's the sign to prove it. Nice sign right there. And then a minute or two past the sign, we have this incredible gateway sculptures directly ahead of us there. Not the porta potties. That's the only bathroom toilet on the route, by the way. But here is the sculpture done by a local Julian artist. I'll talk about the sculpture, its history, and the artist in the guide on Hiking Guy. But we're going to walk right through this. Really cool. This is cedar that was felled on Palomar Mountain. We're going to go through, and here is the start of the trail board. Check it out. Make sure there are no notices there. And then we're going to go straight, and we're going to join right here the Volcan Mountain Trail and start climbing up. Now, off to the left, these are part of the Volcan Mountains, but it is not the summit. We can't actually see the summit until we get to it, because it's sort of directly in front of us as we go up. Now, about 0.6 miles in, we're going to make a right onto the Five Oaks Trail. And this is a beautiful single track that will parallel the Volcan Mountain Trail. Much nicer, in my opinion. Single track, no mountain bikes, and has these nice shady spots of oaks here. It's called the Five Oaks Trail because they identified 5 different species of oak when they did it. Those mountains in the distance, that's Cuyamaca back there. That's the second highest point in San Diego. And actually, since they named it the Five Oaks, they found 8 different varieties of oak here. But the trail is beautiful. It was built by the California Conservation Corps in 2003. There's some stone steps. Overall, a really nice experience, and much nicer than the steep and kind of harsh fire road just off to the left here. You can see there's a couple little overlooks. Those are not official, but you can go over there and get some nice views. But we're going to get some nice views when we get to the top as well. And in the middle of this trail is this beautiful bench here where you can sit down and soak in all of the views to the south, down into the apple orchards and valleys around Julian down there. This is interesting in terms of the oaks because it's sort of at an altitude where the higher altitude oaks and lower altitude oaks meet, and they can live together and coexist. So neat area. You can see there's lots of grasslands as well. And once we get up to the top of the Five Oaks Trail, there's a little bench, and we can look down into the canyon down there and points to the southeast. Really, really beautiful spot and beautiful trail. Now, when we get to this point, the climbing is done. We have like a little bit of a downhill here through the grasslands. And then eventually we're going to come back out on the Volcan Mountain Trail, which we've been paralleling this whole time. Here it is, and at this point we're going to make the right. Now when you go back, you can go straight if you'd like to. I'm not sure if you need to do that trail twice, but you can see it says there's the summit, 1.2 miles, and that's the summit straight ahead of us now, way up there. Now we're going to climb a little bit. We're going to go through this wooded area. This area was originally used for logging and ranching back in the olden days, but when we get up to the top of the ridge, this is Volcan Mountain Road. We're going to bear to the right, and once we get to this part where this other road joins in, we're going to look off to the right here, and you're going to see a stone chimney sticking out. That's right there. We're going to go check that out. There's a little side trail to that. Now, this was an old astronomy station. In the olden days, before they built the observatory on Palomar Mountain, they were looking for the best place to put the Hale telescope, and this is one of the candidates, and they used to come up here to this shelter and observe the stars. But we're going to check it out, then keep going straight up this dirt road up towards the summit. There are a couple of surprises along the way, including this little observation station here. There's a little viewfinder off to the right. Really cool, kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I love it. And there's a guide to all the peaks here as we can look to the west. And when it's clear, there's a marine layer today, but when it's clear, you can see all the way to Catalina, out to the Channel Islands. Really nice. And then we're going to continue uphill. And then there is another little viewpoint off to the left here. We're going to look down towards the southeast. You can see down towards the Salton Sea. According to the display, you could see Yuma through there. I couldn't see it today, but I don't think I've ever seen it, but maybe you can see it on a clear day. We're going to check that out, and then we're going to come up to the loop at the summit. Now, it doesn't really matter which way you go, but I'd say go right. We'll come back down to the left on the way back, but we're going to go up towards the right. And once you get around a little bit, look off to the left, and there's a little trail board and a picnic bench and a radio tower. This is the summit area up here, nice little place to take a break. Check that all out. I'll talk about the tower in the guide as well. It's an old navigation tower, but to get to the actual benchmark, we're going to go through these trees here, and this is actually the highest point up on the mountain. The highest point's directly ahead right there, but there's an old benchmark from, I think, 1939 right down here. It's a little weathered, but it's there all right. And then when you're done here, let's go back out to the bench and then back down to that road. And when we get down back to the road, if you want to go back, you're just going to make the left and continue around the loop, and then just head back down the way you came, right down there to the left. But there's one more surprise in store for us. We're going to cross over the dirt road and then go down this little use trail here, this little single track. Now, this is a great place for wildflowers. You can see there's a ton of California poppies in bloom right now. This was shot in May, but probably a little bit earlier is a better time. But we're going to keep going down this for a minute or two, and then you're going to come to this really beautiful wooden bench that is inscribed and everything. You can check out the views, grab a bite, and then head back the way you came. All right, so here's the hike route. We're starting down on the road. It's an out and back. We're going to go up to Volcan Peak here, and then we're going to get those wide sweeping views all around. But to start, this is the road right down here. This is the parking alongside the road. We went up that street past the residential properties. This is where that gateway sculpture was. We go through the gateway sculpture and then start the long winding road of the Volcan Mountain Trail here. At this point, we hop off onto Five Oaks, and you can see, here we go, you can see that we parallel the Volcan Mountain Trail, which goes up right along here. And when you come back, if you want to skip this, you can just keep on going down there. But I find this a lot nicer as you climb. You're going to get views, unobstructed views to the south down here as we climb up along the Five Oaks Trail. This is that bench with the viewpoint. We're going to keep going up. This is that other viewpoint where we could look down into the canyon here. And then we rejoin the Volcan Mountain Trail right here. And you can see, obviously, on the satellite photo that it joins. From here, we're going to climb up. This is that intersection on the ridge where the road came in. Here's the old old ruins of the astronomy station. Go up to that viewpoint, and then we have this gradual climb. Here's the other viewpoint where we can see down into Anza Borrega, Granite Peak, Whale Peak down there. Really, really nice. I guess that's Arizona, Salton Sea in the distance over here. And then we come up to the road and that loop up top right over here. Here's the loop where we go around, but we go up to the benchmark, the summit. This is where that bench was. And when you're done, you can just swing around and come back down and go back down the way you came. And yeah, that's the hike.